Hey guys! Since we just talked about creating our own personal vision and life plans, today I want to go back and talk about setting goals. Goals are the foundation of how you get to where you want to go in this life, so let's look at what goals really are. People have been developing theories about goal setting since the early 19th century. Through the years, multiple studies have been done in group settings, and that has given us a lot of information to work with. One way to look at a goal is the object or aim of the action, meaning what you want to accomplish or what the desired outcomes are. Using goals as tools and resources allows us the ability to increase our productivity and improve our overall performance. Two key developers of goal-setting theories found that there actually is a positive linear relationship between a specific high goal and task performance. They said that with years of research has found that those assigned hard goals actually performed better than people that were assigned moderately difficult or easy goals. If you set goals that actually make you stretch, you'll actually perform better. So take those fears and those doubts and push them to the back of your mind. Set goals that are obtainable, but goals that are going to push and challenge you. If you fail, you can always go back and readjust the goal or adjust the time frame. Setting a goal is not a perfect art. If you just start small, it will help you instill the habit of goal setting. Admiral McRaven, who served as the commander of the United States Special Operations Forces, put it best. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task and another and another. Simply starting off each day with your best foot forward, knowing you've already accomplished something, is a great way to start. So we all know that goals are stepping stones for accomplishing our visions, but how do we set goals? For this, I refer to the SMART system. It was commonly accredited to Peter Drucker, who talked about the SMART goals in his work on the practice of management. Now, SMART is an acronym that frames out the criteria to set a goal. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Think of SMART as an outline to design your goal. It will help you fill into the basics of how, why, when, where, you, all of those aspects. Specific, talking about narrowing down each goal to its focus on a single aspect. Measurable, the results can be gauged and quantifying, meaning you can see and track that you are accomplishing each task. It's not something that you have to guess whether you met your daily quota or not. Achievable, the goals are targeted to where you are at individually. The goal takes into consideration that not everyone is the same. So walking a mile for you might be the answer, but maybe not for your neighbor. It's all based on what is actually attainable by you. Realistic, the goals are practical. It goes hand in hand with achievable. The goal is easy to implement in your own life. You want to set a plan and be able to execute it. And time, being time bound. The element of time makes the goal more focused. It also provides that needed time frame to set the parameters of your goal. If you don't have that time element, it's really hard to say what your deadline is or be able to track what your progress is along that goal. A good example of this is simply looking at walking a mile every single day. It's an attainable goal, unless, per se, you break your foot. Then can you really walk a mile every single day? If you were to break your foot, you would have to go back and reevaluate where you're at and how you could set a different goal to accomplish what your end game was. Just like you would build up from walking 1 mile to 10, you can and you should build off of your previous goals. That way, you can plan out the steps that you need to take from being able to walk 1 mile to running 10 miles. It's all about building up those baby steps along the way. Specific goals break down what exactly is necessary to accomplish that goal. Setting goals is a great way to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success in the end. You can track your progress, which can lead to a feeling of accomplishment even during the process of the goal itself. One thing to keep in mind is that the motivation to complete these goals comes from inside of you. It's going to be different for every single person and what motivates them. So if you find a technique that works for you, use that to your advantage. Whether it's a vision board, an accountability partner, talking to your mom, writing down the goals, whatever works for you, use that and go with it. Simply wanting to make a change does not mean you're going to follow through with it. Just take into account all those New Year's resolutions. Look at gyms, for example. Hundreds of thousands of people make the resolution that they're going to go to the gym and they're going to lose weight and get healthy with the new year. All you have to do is look at gyms on February and realize that all of these people can flake out. One great example to look at, however, is actually CrossFit. CrossFit is developed in this community atmosphere that encourages people to come and become immersed in the culture of what that community is. It focuses not only on that individual aspect of trying to be better than who you are yesterday or beating your best time, and it also focuses on that community and that team aspect of wanting to do better than the person to the right or the left of you. It takes that competition and that individual drive, brings it all together with that community. So they have a very good model to look at if you're looking at progress, encouragement, that community aspect. Dr. Gail Matthews is a professor in the Dominican who conducted a study on how exactly goal achievement was influenced by simply writing down goals, pairing goals with action plans, and having a weekly update on goals to an accountability partner. The study showed that more than 70% of the participants who were using an accountability partner were able to successfully complete their goal. That was compared to the small 35% of those who didn't write down their goals and didn't share them with anyone either. So, just by writing down your goal and telling someone, you're so much more likely to complete that goal. It is important not only to write down your goals, but to go back and revisit them. While some goals can be maybe a daily habit over the course of 30 days, other goals can be over a few months or even years. That doesn't mean that just because one day you don't feel like getting off the couch and walking that mile because you're lazy, that you need to go back and readjust the time frame of your goal. It means you need to get your butt off the couch, get out there and walk the mile. You don't want to abuse that. That's how you're going to fail in those goals. You need to make sure that those goals are far stretched, but they're attainable. Those parameters and the ability to adjust that as necessary is because life is unpredictable. Just like our previous example, you could break your leg and not be able to walk that mile every single day. That would be a perfect way to go back and say, this goal is no longer obtainable. Let's change it or create a new focus of this goal. The process of setting goals is not a one-size-fits-all. You can adopt the process and each goal to you and where you're at in your own life. Don't get discouraged if you're struggling at first. Setting and achieving goals gets easier over time. It's just a habit that takes time and effort to develop. So whether you plan on walking a mile a day or running 10 miles, make it smart. Write it down, share it with a friend, post it on a vision board, mainly just go out and do it. You can achieve almost anything you put your mind to, because I believe in you.